Alright, so this may not be what you're used to from my content, but I just thought I'd make this. Master Duel really needs you the ability to save replays of solo mode games, because crazy shit happens sometimes. Oh my god. So, there's this one game, I made like this like random ass fucking deck. I just put a bunch of random cards in. Most of it doesn't even synergize with each other. Like I'm playing this card. Like, what's this card gonna do? Anyways, so I just, played against like Element Sabers. Element Sabers garbage. So my opening hand was Getsu Fuma, Howling Insect, Cyber Dragon. This Gladiator Beast card I've never read before, and Shiranui's Spectral Sword. Their first turn is Terraforming, search the field spell, activate the field spell, add the boss, I guess, then use the effect, then whatever, I don't really know all the savers. So you special summon the guy, and they set a spell, and they set a monster. But the thing about this card, right, is it has different effects depending on what elements are in the graveyard, and these do matter which ones they pick. So I draw Thunderbird. Now, this is really tragic right here. So a special Cyber Dragon, special like normal summon the Spectral Sword, activate Thunderbird. There's three other cards in hand, so I have a 75% chance to special. No. And guess what? Of course, the card that reveals is Thunderbird. Because, I'm really unlucky for no reason. And the card that it used to destroy was Quaking Mirror Force, which, Jesus. It's the good Mirror Force. So I make this Light Sworn Synchro. Now, this is a pretty good hand for me. This is like, I'm pretty sure, like, the best possible hand I could have got. Realistically speaking. This is like the 1-2 card combo I can do with this deck. But unfortunately, the things that he or the graveyard effect of this card did, it was light and dark and earth or wind. So basically it couldn't be destroyed by battle or targeted by card effects. And my card targets. And I don't have a single card that I could make that could destroy it. So I'm like, god damn. Of course, they just so happened to make it. So I banish a field spell, which gives it a 500 attack boost. Nice. So that's the only way I can beat over it. So I beat over it doing 200 damage. It's not destroyed because, of course, they picked the two perfect ones in that scenario. I swear the AI is just cheat sometimes. It activates the effect in the end phase, which mills 3, so it mills these cards. And they draw Symbol Nimble Manga. Flip summon this guy. It doesn't matter, because they make the BLS Link 3. And I realized at that moment, my god, they have BLS in here? I don't have a single card in my deck that outs this card. Not a single one. Like, I think there's one way I could beat over 3,000. But that requires me to use a tuner. And I already used the one tuner in my deck. Yes, my deck has one tuner. And I've already used it to make a synchro. So I had no out to this card. I realized I was just screwed. As this is so horrible. So despite me making this synchro, I had to link it off for code talker pointing to the BLS because it has the arrow pointing down. And he's like right here. So he can't be destroyed in battle because BLS gets effects when you destroy a monster by battle, and it just snowballs out of control. So making this like Blink 2 is actually the best possible play I could have made. Funnily enough, link off my 2600 attack synchro for a 1300 Link 2. Yeah. Anyways. Alright, so summon this. Wait, no, actually, yeah, so they summon this card. Link summon the Charmer, and I'm like, oh my god, they're throwing. They got rid of the big boss monster. Summon a monster from my graveyard. Summon this card. Hey, remember the mills that I did earlier? Yeah, those actually mattered. Those mills actually helped him more than it helped me. What the fuck? Oh my god, this still was actually crazy. Then I draw Mausoleum of the Emperor. Have no choice but to set Howling Insect. They draw. Activate it. I thought it was on Link Summon. Apparently it's every turn they can just summon a guy from my graveyard. Once again, another card I milled. Summon Giant Rat. Then they Xyz Kachi Kochi Dragon. And conveniently, I have the card that like floats 3 times before it dies. And they summon a monster that can attack more than once if it destroys a monster by battle. Now, at this point, I'm convinced that the computer's cheating. They just know exactly what card I have set down and just like summon the most appropriate card they possibly could. There's cheating. And now that he's not linked off, now he can be destroyed. So, destroy my guy. Howling Insect floats into another copy of itself. So, yeah. At the end of this exchange, all my Howling Insect targets are gone. And then they link summon Saruja. And I draw Spartacus. And I'm like, well, I kind of just give up at this point. I just like summoned using Mausoleum's effect. But at this point, it was just over. Like, it literally, I could have just quit, but I didn't. Like, I should have quit when he made BLS, but I like to play things there all the time. Attack's over. And yeah, it's just over. But, like, just the amount of gas that this deck was able to put out. Like, this shit was actually crazy. It made, like, Milus Radiant, like, Saruja. And, of course, I had nothing. All I had to do was set. But they did, like, 4,000 damage. Oh, yeah, they did 4,000 damage, Activate the field spell, Element Saber, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I pretty much played, like, all my best cards. Like, I made pretty good synchro. I had, like, the card that floated 3 times. Like, that was pretty much all the good cards in my deck. Like, my deck was filled with a lot of really shitty cards. And cards that are basically impossible to make. I had nothing, and wow, crazy. And now I'm here talking because I can't save this as a replay. So yeah, Master Duel, Konami, add the ability to save replays. Yeah. Soul mode, it's crazy sometimes.